Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be carrying on with Citizen Sleeper. We're still working through the Purge story DLC. Looks like we're going to go to bed. I can't remember... now we've got a couple of cutscenes to do before we can do that. That's I remember now. So yeah, let's go do those now. One on each of the Flotilla ships. So we've got Aki and Petter. I can't remember how either of their voices sounded, so we'll just go with how we're feeling. I knew you'd come. Aki greets you outside the dust house, her eyes as bright as always. You're very welcome here, as always. Good to see you, Aki. Aki smiles. And you, Sleeper. She puts a hand on your arm. Walk with me. And she guides you past the dust houses. You look inside and see other members of the crew working in the orange dust, planting and tending to the steppe ecosystem. We are to be the suppliers for the evacuees, I am sure you've heard. We will put the dust houses to use. She leads you past a dust house where the dust is less, the orange glow not as bright, the air a little more clean. We are adapting slowly, but we are adapting. We have to produce food, clothes, necessary things for the journey ahead. She smiles. The plants of steppe are once again sustaining a population, and that makes me proud. Aki stops at a half-empty dust house scoured of its sand. It is being filled with mulch. We brought this from the Greenway. She stares at the green and brown, a strange sight even to you, now that you're used to the amber dust of steppe. I admit it is hard work for us. We're not familiar with these plants. Can you help us? Aki meets your eye. I'll do my best. Aki looks away. Of course. I am sorry. She furrows her brow. I know that the eye is suffering, that it is at risk. I know what that is like. Thank you. I wish I had a lesson to share with you from our loss on steppe. She shakes her head, but for the moment, I cannot see what that might be. She gathers herself. If it gives you meaning, the work here is steady and worthwhile. But if you do not have time... She smiles a weak smile. I will not blame you. Hold on to your memories, but not too tightly. She pauses. Sadness will not sustain you. She falls silent and you both watch the work in the dust house for a while. You can already see a greening fringe of moss on the mulch in the dust house. The first signs of new life. Will you soon be like the people of steppe, leaving behind a home? Or will you be stubborn and hold your ground despite what it might mean? You wait a little longer with Aki, the moment a welcome suspension in time. A rare moment in this rush towards an end. You glance at Aki and she puts a hand on your shoulder in solidarity. After a short while, Aki sighs. It is good to see you, Sleeper. Perhaps we will see each other again before we depart. She walks away, fingertips brushing against the glass of the dust house windows. Aki turns back for a moment as if she wants to say something, then thinks better of it and turns away. So in the dust houses then, more stuff to do. Quite a lot of clock sections, as we can see. Dust house tending. To be used on the flotilla's outward trip to the dust houses will need careful tending, especially those being adapted to greenway plants, or harvest automation. Dust house efficiency could be massively improved with an automated harvesting system, but the steppe techs need some help. So yeah, we're +2 in both of those things. That's good. Let's go and talk to Petter again. Can't remember what he sounded like. The docking axis is in chaos when you arrive. The staccato burst of welding torches, the shouts of crews gathering, the rapid flow of supplies and kit from dock to dock. You can tell already that news of the flotilla's imminent departure has reached this place before you. Come to join the Exodus, Sleeper. Petter approaches you from one of the working crews, a smile on his face, and a lightness in his step you haven't seen before. Not quite. Petter eyes you. Yeah, I suppose you're here on Sol's orders again. He winks at you. Nothing Ember's half like to do more than ordering people around. I'm here by choice. Fair enough. Just your timing seems to always be a cycle or two after we get some request from the Hearth ship. He shrugs an exaggerated shrug. Must be coincidence. Well, Sol has it lucky anyway. His request for us to dismantle the Axis and be the vanguard for the flotilla's onward journey to the starward belt aligns perfectly with our plans. What plans? To leave this damned place, of course. We've been prepping ever since the cordon collapsed. If we can build our escape and make the Hearth ships think we are complying with their orders at the same time, then it's a 2-in-1 for us. Petter shakes his head. Those idiots will never see it coming. You're leaving the flotilla? We are our own flotilla, Sleeper. Petter looks away at the busy axis. We aren't going to tie ourselves to heart and step any longer. Why would we? To help them? Petter scoffs. They are taking on evacuees from the eye. That's what I heard. So how bad they help themselves before they ask us to make up for their bad decisions? It's going a bit weird there. Petter looks down. Look, nothing against you or yours, Sleeper. But we have to get out from under the shadow of step and song. And this is the time. Petter grimaces. We won't let the flux catch us again. Not a chance. And for the first time you see fear in his eyes. Want to help us make that leap? Grab a torch, talk to the crew. You're welcome to it. Petter sniffs. Every person in here is free to prove themselves. Let's see. Petter nods. Just a stop on the road, Sleeper. I'm afraid all this was. Petter glances out past the docking axis, through the outer windows to the stars beyond. A lot of space out there for those willing to take it. He looks you in the eye. I hope you'll be around before we go, but if not... He smiles. Stay strong. And with that, Petter thumps you on the shoulder and heads back to his crew with a purpose, a direction visible in every step of his rapid stride. Have a look what they require. I'm not inclined to put quite as much time and effort into helping these guys as they're going to abandon everyone. Crew management, only a +1 in this. The crews of Ember's Song are effective, but headstrong and stubborn. They need direction and management. Axis reclamation. As the docking axis is dismantled and the individual ships refitted, as much of the material as possible needs to be reclaimed. Okay. So we're going to go and rest now, get our dice reloaded. I'm going to keep using scrap to keep us topped up because I don't want to go down to 4. But equally, I don't want to use these when I'm only down to here. It seems wasteful. So we'll keep trying to go with 5 dice for as long as we can. That's good. I mean, we might as well stick the other one in, to be honest. Maybe we'll eat before we go to bed. There we go. We'll probably do it when we wake up as well. Just have it out of the way. Oh, it says complete active scenes. What else do we have? I thought we had done that. Anything here? Maybe there's something further up the eye? Don't think there's anything there. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Cross back over. Maybe Peak's working on something and they want us to check in. Go up just in case. It's possible the... yeah, okay. Oh, Lem and Mina, are they going off on the sidereal horizon? Let's find out. There is a crowd, but you spot Lem and Mina immediately as you enter the dock. They're waiting at the cordon, where Kalis security are checking the crew in to board the ship. Those that managed to get up to the hub are crowded near the entrance. But even they know their chance of getting on board has long gone. Lem! Lem spots you amongst the crowd. Sleeper, we're here! They are standing beside a bag which looks to carry all the possessions they have. It is small enough to be carried in one hand. Hi, Mina. Mina is vibrating with excitement. She seems strangely at home in microgravity. But then you remember that she spent her whole life in space. Hi, robot! You hand over the Kalis ID film to Lem, keeping your own. He turns it back and forth in the light. Where did your friend even get this picture, Sleeper? Looks like my old Conway ID. He sounds a bit like, oh, what was his name in the last episode? I want to say Flux, but that wasn't his name. I can't remember. You look, and a shimmering younger Lem stares out of the film, harder and clean cut. I spoke to the guard here. He nods to the white and green clad security officer. They'll be doing orientation and role assignment on board. Sounds like we're going to be working under the core crew. Kind of like an intern. He laughs. What do you think, Meanie? Am I too old to be an intern? Following Lem's lead, you inspect your ID. As you lift the film up to the light, you see something strange. Something that makes you flinch. The face printed in the film is one you recognize immediately, but is not you. At least, it is not how you look now. You squint at this ghost, confused why you hadn't noticed earlier. It is a picture you remember being taken, a memory that you didn't know you had. You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. You remember the S&ARP employee who helped you in, her smile clean and surgical. You freeze in place, thinking of the you that still sleeps somewhere in an S&ARP facility, that won't wake up until you're recovered and disposed of. And now you are leaving. Will they ever wake up? Sleeper? Lem interrupts your thoughts. These guys want us to board. You stare at him without thinking, then notice the guard gesturing to you both to come forward. You all kick off and float over to them, steadying yourselves on the guardrail. You hang back, letting Lem present his ID film first. The guard slides it across a white machine, much like the one Castor printed them from. You reflexively rub the puncture mark on your hand, even though there is no trace of it now. It seems to be your destiny to be someone else's tool. Lem and Mina are waved through, the guard smiling at her excited face. Lem turns back to check you're coming. The guard beckons you closer. Well, we're not going, so wait. You wait for a moment. You need to wait for a moment. This is all happening too fast, changing too much. There are so many questions you have, so many threads to catch hold of, and yet here you are, boarding a ship to who knows where, on a journey that will take decades. Reconsider. Is this really what you want? How will you even survive? You suddenly feel dizzy, unsettled. You can make out the concerned look on Lem's face as you hold back. The guard gestures again. Mina's eyes looking back at you are so bright in the starlight. Sorry guys, I mean they're getting off the eye. That's the main thing, but we're going to stay on and deal with our stuff. You can't do it. You can't get on that ship. You turn away quickly, trying not to look at Lem, to look at Mina, to meet their eyes. You turn away and kick off hard from the guardrail. When you reach the far wall, you turn back. The scene continues in front of you as if nothing has changed. The next set of people are boarding. The crowds are still gathered at the cordon. The sidereal horizon still blinks, its yellow hull bright against the stars. And there are Lem and Mina, gliding up towards the docking bridge, bag in hand. Lem is facing away, focused on the steady climb, but Mina is in his arms and is facing back towards you. You watch her face, confused, sullen, but twinkling with a growing excitement as Lem carries her forward. As you watch Mina, you think about your future, about the future you might choose. You know one thing for certain. That future is on the eye. You no longer have any enthusiasm for being carried forward by the dreams of others, for grand futures that unfold like angelic wings across the horizon. The future is being made now on this spinning ring, among its people and its systems. You're sure of that. But as you watch Mina disappear into the entrance of the sidereal horizon, and much later when you watch the ship pull away, you feel a sense of longing, a longing to be carried, not by the systems that spin the suns or the corporations that run the colonies, but by love towards an uncertain future, just as Mina was. That, you think, is the future you wish to make here on Erlin's Eye. Why is this ending? We're going to continue because we're working through the DLC. Yeah, cool. Here we are. Castor, he's not going to be happy with us. I mean, he's already tried to murder us. Strange choice. Castor stands beside you at the rail, watching the pinpricks of light from the sidereal horizon's drives disappear. But perhaps not unexpected. You turn to look and Castor is beaming at you with an unsettling warmth. I don't know how well this fits in with the scene we've already had with him when he tried to kill Beak. It feels a bit like, a bit disjointed perhaps? To be chummy with him after a betrayal like that? What do you want? Castor rolls his eyes. Please, Sleeper, we know each other by now. I only wish for you to exercise that strong drive of yours. If it happens to align with my own, then that is pleasing to me. But if it does not, I cannot punish you. What about the Kalis? Castor looks out towards the stars. I will do my best to follow its progress. He pauses. The Kalis Foundation is of more concern. Oh, how do you even say that? Kendra Kalis has taken a step back from the public eye. It seems some internal struggles are playing out within their pristine halls. Castor sighs, but I doubt core politics are of much concern to you. Castor moves down the rail. The eye, though, that seems to be your primary concern. Am I right? I have unfinished business, which is true. He pats you on the back. Don't we all? It's the nature of life to leave things unfinished. I have more projects than I can count, so many games still to play and things to learn. May your future cycles be as fruitful as my own. Castor turns and starts to clunk away in his mag boots. I'll be keeping an eye on you if you don't mind, Sleeper. He waves as he walks. My curiosity remains piqued. Once he leaves, you stay a little longer at the rail, watching the stars. Imagine the look on Mina's face when she sees Kalis 1 for the first time. Imagine the excitement when she first touches its soil, the joy when she first stands outside in the rain laughing. Those images, though they will not happen for decades, are what will carry you through this cycle, and perhaps the next one too. Alright, yeah, let's descend. We're on this side now, so what I might do, I might go and check the dock. Is there anything here? I wouldn't mind getting some more scrap in, actually. What have we got here? Ship mine fragments. That's not as important to me. This one's empty. I guess we'll sleep at home, as we're here. Feed the kitty. Anyway, it's in the cycle here. Hope for good dice. The reroll's good though. Can't guarantee what you'll get, but if it's a 1 or a 2, you're pretty much gonna get something better with luck. That's alright though, I'll take that. Let's go get some grub. Let's just go to Memphis because that'll fill us all the way up to the top. And it's only 12. Cryo. I think I called it credits in an earlier episode, but it is. It's called cryo, isn't it? Their currency. Let's go back across. So I think I'll prioritise this set of dice. I'm going to prioritise helping the dust houses, I think. As I think I said, I'm not that fussed about help. We'll leave the Ember Song until last. I don't know if it's required. It might be, but we'll get these supplies ready before. So with the 3, if I do this and take it up to a 5. I think that should be good because it's a risky rather than a dangerous, so I think we're... Oh, we only got 1 square, but, you know, fine. But we'll put our 5s into here because they're guaranteed of being a positive result. We've got a 2 now, let's re-roll that. We've got a 1. Okay, if we put it in there, what would happen? I mean, losing energy? Yeah, that's alright. We'll take that and risk it. We lost the energy. Ah, well. Easy come, easy go, I suppose. Right, well that's that. Let's go and we'll eat and then rest. It's nice having all this money, not having to worry about working and stuff. Just means I can kind of concentrate on getting towards the end. So yeah, so we got a couple more cycles of getting 5 dice, I think. Maybe just 1. It's okay. I mean, it's pretty much fine apart from the 2. We'll literally roll the dice on that again. Let's go back to the dust houses. Felt like we had plenty of time for that next flux event, but it's ticking away. These clocks are pretty big that we've got to do here. I mean, we'll fill this one up now, obviously. I'm tempted to put the 3 in here because we only need 1 section. We got 2, so that's done. You sit in one corner of the dust house and inspect your work. This dust house, the one where the plants from the greenway and some of the steppe species intermingle, has become your favourite. I paused the recording to go and let the dog out into the garden, and when I came back I realised I'd moved my microphone, so if I've been quiet for the last couple of minutes, I do apologise. This is the first thing I've read, so you've just had probably about a minute or 2 of my muttering, probably a bit quieter than usual, hopefully not too much. It was only off to the side, but I've moved it now. So yeah, This dust house, the one where plants from the greenway and some of the steppe species intermingle, has become your favourite. The moss and dust sharing the space in curving terraces. The pale knots of steppe silk freckled with yellowing lichel symbiotes. It is a hypnotic arrangement. You look down and see the intertwining of fungal threads and dust-caked roots and feel a little glow of pride at what has been achieved. You hear the entry lock of the dust house hiss open, and assuming it is Aki, turn to greet her. Oh, it's Rico. What was her name?
Sleeper, I should have known you'd be here.
Rico smiles her warm smile, leaning on her crutch.
You must be one of the most green-fingered people on the station.
Rico!
Now, has it been so long?
She smiles a wry smile.
No need for any drama. I met some of the steppe refugees in the greenway. They were gathering plants and I confronted them. Turns out they were very friendly.
She smiles to herself.
Aki was very apologetic, but I told them they were welcome to anything they liked. She told me I'd be welcome to come see, and, well, I thought I'd take her up on the offer.
She looks around the dust house with its strange hybrid ecosystem.
I have to say, I'm glad I did.
I'm glad too.
I can see that.
Rico limps over to you. She holds out a hand.
How about you take me on a tour?
You take Rico's hand and walk her around the hybrid dust house. You show her how the steppe silk knots help provide a strong base for fungal and lichel growths, and how the dust mixes with the spores. You show her the different species of steppe tubers and the way they feed the soil with nutrients that help herbaceous greenway plants thrive. She nods along, her eyes bright with ideas. She stops after a while and gestures for you to sit together.
I know something is happening with the eye, Sleeper.
She looks out at the plants.
We all felt that flux event hit, and everyone is talking about what's next. I came out here to figure something out, to understand what I might do about it all.
You glance at her and see the glossiness in her eyes.
And I think I have decided. What you have done here, what Aki and the other steppe refugees have done here, is incredible. A whole new ecosystem built from the artificial changed remains of two worlds. But I am not of two worlds. I am of the eye.
A tear runs down her cheek.
Like it or not, I am entwined with the station. I am an old growth. I don't have that much time anymore, and it seems to accelerate with every cycle.
She frowns.
Blurs together, separates, overlaps, comes back to me in strange ways. The time I do have, that's time I want to spend on the eye, in the greenway, watching things grow.
She wipes her cheek.
One day I'll lie in those fields and not get back up.
She smiles. The tear tracks down both cheeks.
And when the green takes me, I'll be so glad.
You could leave. Rico nods.
You know, Sleeper, when you get to my age, you stop thinking about what you could do and try to better understand why it is you act as you do. I know I will stay. I just need to understand it.
She wipes her eyes and turns to you.
But that's enough of me blubbering on about it.
She furrows her brow.
What I want to know is, what you are planning?
I don't know. We want to save the station. So I'm gonna go with I don't know. I'm gonna leave my options a bit open. Rico smiles.
We all have to get to know ourselves, Sleeper, to know what it is that drives us. I'm sure you'll decide to act in the manner you know. But you also have to ask yourself why it is so.
She places a trembling hand on yours.
Don't neglect that. Oh!
She suddenly lifts both hands.
Don't let me forget this.
She reaches into her coat and pulls out a transparent bag of sporing clubheads with carefully preserved root systems.
I'd like to plant these. If you go, you'll need them.
She looks down at her feet.
And if you don't, well, maybe another sleeper will benefit.
She frowns.
I can offer that at least.
Thank you. She nods.
Don't thank me. These are yours by right.
Rico stands and limps over to a pile of mulch. She delicately takes the clubheads out and beds them into the soil there with precise, expert hands.
You should go, Sleeper. I'll be a while.
She calls back, not looking away from the job at hand.
See you around.
She says it casually, but there's a note of finality to her speech. Goodbye, Rico. You turn and leave the dust house, cycling through the protective lock, back into the cool quiet of the ship. Aki is waiting for you.
Oh, it's beautiful.
She's looking through the observation window, and the green reflects in her eyes.
The plants look happy together.
She spots Rico with her hands in the soil.
Ah, the botanist came.
She shoots you a look.
A friend of yours?
Something like that. She nods.
She speaks beautifully about the Greenway. I should go in and welcome her.
She pauses. Are you leaving us? For now. Aki sighs.
The first of many goodbyes.
She suddenly embraces you, wrapping you in her layers of rough cloth. She pulls back.
I wish you a steady step and a clear path.
She smiles.
A farewell from my world.
I wish you the same. She nods and smiles one last warm smile before turning and entering the dust house. You watch as she walks inside, Rico turning with a smile to greet her. She kneels beside the old botanist, and you see her pointing to the club heads asking questions. You are unable to hear them, but despite that you can easily imagine the measured, even tone laced with excitement that Rico is using to explain the club heads, the Greenway, and much, much more. You turn, leaving them to their conversation. Your step is light, despite the burdens you carry and the smile Rico? There's a few typos I've noticed in this DLC. It maybe needed a bit more of a proofreading pass. And the smile Rico and Aki were sharing is somehow still on your lips as you depart. That one's done. We still sitting on two upgrade points? We are, so we'll just bear that in mind. Yeah, we're almost halfway through the clock until the terminal flux. But we've got a bit more to do here. I'll put the 4 in here for a positive outcome, and then I will roll the 2 and hope for better. Got a 4. Perfect. Exactly what we need. Nah. We've got a random scrap item. That's good. We can repair our condition. We're going to stop at the nearest sleeping point, which is right here. Briar Base Camp. Let's use that scrap then, and we'll repair our condition up again. We're going to keep getting 5 dice. I meant to eat before going to sleep, really. We're going to be no energy when we wake up. Yeah, so let's go eat now. I'll probably have to do a couple of meals at the farm stacks, because I think they only give 2, but that's okay. We are not worried about money at all. There we go. Right, let's go help the climbing briar. Is that what it's called? No, it's the pilgrim seed. The briar's the XPR ship, isn't it? Yeah, well, let's put it all in here. I should have kept my 6 actually, because we could have used both 4s in here. And we're just going to finish this clock. Oh, we've got another random scrap item. That's pretty cool. They just keep coming. Perhaps the flux event scared enough people that they really believe the Eye will collapse. Perhaps they're sick of Havenage, of the Council's infighting and the hardliners. Or perhaps they just want to take a chance at some new future, a place that is anywhere but here. Whatever it is, the evacuees don't stop. They come on the Flotilla's shuttles, on their own ships, however they can. You've seen so many faces pass that they're almost meaningless now, a parade of features that seem both familiar and distant. You've been helping people, lifting bags, bringing in supplies, directing them to the berths you helped build. Some of them recoil from your touch, still unfamiliar with sleepers. Others treat you with pity. Some with hate, snatching back their bags and storming off. Still you help. Still you carry boxes and bags. Nothing can stop you. You don't look for Sol. You know he's busy, just like you, trying to make this thing work. Trying to fit as many people as will come onto the pilgrim seed. You know you'll see him before this is all over. You keep working, but there's something in the back of your mind, something eating away at you. You try to push it to the back of your thoughts, but it keeps coming back. The Eye is over. That is the thought, that the Eye, even if the flux doesn't get it, is on its way out. How can it survive when these floods of people are leaving it behind? It's a thought that troubles you because it makes you question why you've held on here so long, in a place that seems so temporary for so many people. Are you just a stubborn idiot? Someone who didn't get the message? Or are you strong, committed for lasting the storm, for seeing the collapse coming and facing it head on? Because there is something you're sure of now. This place, like all places, is temporary. And as each face passes you, each family packs up and gets on board the Pilgrim Seed, it feels ever more temporary, ever more fragile. Which means it either desperately needs protecting, or it desperately needs to be left behind. The choice is yours. Okay, well nothing is sort of opening up, so I feel like we do need to do the stuff over on Ember's Song. So I guess we do. I'm leaning towards going with the Flotilla now, if I'm honest. I think we've done what we can to protect the station, but maybe we do move on. Let's put the 6 in here. It's only a +1. Let's... Oh, we got plus energy, that's nice. Let's put that there, so that's 100% positive. And let's re-roll our 1, and we get a 4. Perfect, we'll put that in here again. That's that clock halfway done. Got full energy, so we'll just we'll rest right here. I'm going to use the scrap. Oh, that's the ship mind. We can use the scrap just to keep our condition high. And then the cycle. I don't know if there's twists or anything coming. It does feel like we're kind of working towards the ending now. I mean, you know, obviously we are. But just think about the stuff with the council and that hardliner guy, whether there's anything to come there, possibly. Or whether we just finish this and go off. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Quite a low roll, but we'll work with what we've got. So we'll put that in there. Put that in there. We might get another end. Might get energy or something from it. Ah, we did. Cool. I think we'll re-roll these 1s and 2. A bit better. Let's do this again, because we got a chance of maybe getting another energy from it. Not this time, but we finished the clock. The docking axis is little more than a shell. Everything that could have been pulled from its interior, every arm not used for docking, has been cut away. What remains is a Spartan void with patchwork of flooring that allows movement. Piles of unstable materials are tucked away in corners, but almost everything else has been cleared out. You haven't seen Petter since you last spoke, and now you're realizing that you probably never will. There are plans to be made, escapes to plot, the shadow of Hearth to escape. On the cycle the Flotilla leaves, these ships will disperse too, the moons of Ember spinning out on different orbits. The chaos has become a quiet diligence now, as the time for departure is so near. Crews cross the axis from ship to ship at speed, bringing supplies or advice. Perhaps meeting up to discuss travel vectors in hushed tones, or to debate why they haven't left yet, and whether they should. Among these Singer crews, recognizable for their specialist clothing and often shorn heads, you see the occasional refugee. A paying passenger, or a replacement engineer or pilot perhaps, come from the eye to seek fortune with the Singers. Most of the crews have 2 or 3 of these additions, some more, and you can't help but wish that, whatever reason brings them to throw their lot in with the Singer crews, they will have safe passage. You feel a strange attachment to these citizens of the Eye, setting out for the first time. And then one of them catches your eye, crossing the axis with the crew, carrying a large bag and a nervous look. Is it someone we know? Tala. Ah, the bartender. I think she may have been Australian? Tala, you freeze for a second. What is she doing here? She glances around, feeling your eyes on her, and catches your eye. Her face brightens immediately. Sleeper! Tala mutters something to her crew and rushes over. Actually, no, because Peak's Australian. I have no idea what Tala was. Let's just do it normally. Sleeper! Tala mutters something to her crew and rushes over, dumping the large bag at your feet and embracing you without thinking. Are you leaving? She sheepishly glances at her bag. Oh, Sleeper. She pauses. She pauses again, folding her arms defensively. I'm going to the starboard belt. She waits for your response nervously. Why didn't you say? She sighs. Do you remember mentioning my family sleeper, my brother? You think back to your Gerol blurred conversations in the back of the Bantian. He came here with me, with my family, when we were little, just after we left Cinza. She bites her lip. He left when we were both teenagers, jumped on some spacer crew headed to the starboard belt. She sighs, I'm an idiot. She shakes her head, and I'm going after him. She looks down, not sure what to add. Alone? She looks at you. I guess so. I really don't know if it makes sense or if it's the right thing, but ever since I heard that was where the refugee flotilla was going, well, I couldn't stop thinking about him. What happens to the bar? Oh, someone will have to run it. She leaves a long pause. I mean, I could ask Francis. He'd be happy to, or one of the others. She blurts out. And of course, if you are leaving with the flotilla or someone else, it'd be totally okay. You wouldn't need to say yes. There's no pressure. It's fine. Whichever way, I was just thinking. I think we'll say I'm not staying. Right. Tala smiles a tight smile. I could ask someone else then. But, She glances at the crew she was walking with, who were chatting a little way away. There's not exactly much time. So considering that... She grabs the key hanging around her neck, the key to the Bantian. Do you want to do it? I can't. We're not going to be staying. Tala nods. I get it. She tucks the key around her neck inside her top. I always do this. Leave everything so late. Make decisions quickly so I can't change my mind. She kicks at her bag. It's not on you. She looks up, smiling. If you're going to leave, well, maybe we'll see each other out there. She looks out towards the stars. That'd be nice. Maybe once I find my brother. She stops herself. She looks back at you and smiles. Well, I'd better be going. She nods at the crew nearby. Not a good start to keep my guys waiting. She lifts the bag onto her shoulder. She looks down at the curve of the eye, towards the overlook. Thanks again, Sleeper, for everything you helped me with. She nods. I wouldn't have been able to leave if I hadn't made things work here. She adjusts the bag. Dad wouldn't have let me. See you out there, she smiles. Yeah, something like that. Then Tala turns, heading back to the crew who will carry her to the starboard belt. You watch her go, and despite the departure, it's hard to feel sad about Tala. You know her energy will carry her forward, and you hope her brother is somewhere on that bright path. You imagine yourself leaving, like Tala, unburdened perhaps, or maybe carrying new burdens. It's hard to tell. Either way, it'll be time to decide soon enough. Oh, we got an upgrade point, so let's... Yeah. On engage, we'll put ourselves up to a +2. There we go. That's pretty cool. So what have we still got here? No active drives. Okay, these are all done. Let's just scroll down through the station then and see if there's anything else that kind of needs doing. Anything still at the Hypher Labs? I can make more stabilized. I've got the 2 club heads. Maybe I should do that. I've already got 3, but, you know, let's have another one. Why not? Don't need to eat. We'll cross back over. Might buy some more scrap while we're here, actually. Got the money for it. Keep our condition tip-top. Funnily enough, I'd have rather have had the scrap than the ship mines we've got. I guess I could. I've got the 3 I could assemble into a ship mine now. Maybe I'll just do that as I've got the pieces. I mean, I don't know what I would use them for, but you never know. Might as well have that. They're quite valuable anyway. So, I don't know really. I guess we'll go. I guess we'll sleep, and then maybe something will happen then. Feels a bit like a bit of a waste of these 2 dice, though. I mean, they're only 2s at the end of the day. Have I got more mushrooms to harvest? I might put it into that. Yeah, so these are effectively 4s. See what we get. Random fungi. That's what we ended up with. 4 Matsutake, 8 Girol. That's fine. We don't need to eat. I guess we'll rest. I'm going to use the 1 scrap I got, which I'm actually slightly disappointed with. I was hoping for 3. And I guess we'll end the cycle. Hopefully something will happen when we wake up. Mixed dice. But actually that feels like a decent place to leave it for now. Not quite sure what there is to do. There might be a cutscene or something up here, I suppose. We could have a look. No. What happens if I click on this? Kind of expecting something to happen. Maybe we've done as much as we can and we just got to wait for the, you know, the clock to time out. It's possible. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 cycles away. So what I will do, I think, is end this one here, and I might just keep advancing cycles until something happens, and just so you know, you guys aren't having to watch that, and then we'll pick up when something starts happening for what is probably the last episode of Citizen Sleeper. But thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, then please do hit the thumbs up button on the video. If you're watching this and haven't subscribed to the channel before, it'd be great if you could do it. And leave me a comment. As always, great to hear your thoughts on the game and the various characters involved in this playthrough. So thanks very much, and I'll hope to see you next time for more Citizen Sleeper. Bye for now.